What's up, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today, I have an exciting new knife to share with you all, and this one is coming in from Axial. This is going to be good. While I get this thing opened up, let me know down in the comments what you have for your EDC today. If you're not familiar with Axial, they are a USA company making US products, and this is going to be the new and improved Axial shift. This is going to be a generation 3 here, and you can see handle with care, extremely sharp, inspected and signed. You get the made in the US signature and the nice little box and card. So the Axial Shift Gen 3 here, it's been through 3 generations and it just continues to get better and better. This will actually be the first time I've gotten a chance to handle a Shift OTF. I've literally handled everything else that they have done except for a Shift. So I'm pretty excited about this. The one thing I like right off the get-go is there is nothing on the butt end of this knife. There's no glass breaker. There's no seatbelt cutter. We just have a flat butt end, and I like that with my knives. Now, we are looking at a milled titanium clip here, I believe, and we do have, we are looking at a milled tie clip there, and we do have the ability to switch this over for a left-hand carry. The switch looks really good. Let's give this a shot here. And, ooh, yeah. Looking at the, what would you call that? Let's call that a sheep's foot blade. We'll call it a modified sheep's foot. Not completely straight, but pretty close. And that'll be our sheep's foot OTF blade. Now, the reason I say that is because Axial puts the shift out in several blade shapes: drop point, tanto, dual edge, spear point, and this Warncliffe sheep's foot. I think they're labeling it maybe as a Warncliffe, but either way, it is going to be a great blade shape for a working OTF and EDC knife. Now, the switch, that is really good. Now, I do have experience with their various switches that they've used on some of their OEM work, and I have their Axial Dart, which is their small OTF, but this is a little bit different compared to those. I can tell they've actually changed up the jimping on that switch. It's definitely a little bit grippier, and it's not in a bad way, though. It's not so sharp that it would fatigue the thumb. Very reminiscent of what I handled with the EMP EDC OEM project that they did together. What I do like about this is, look at the action. It's not like hard hitting per se, but it's really smooth and just really clean. It's not like, wanting to jump out of my hand, which I don't mind that at all. But it is a good active blade. As soon as you hit that wall, it's going to fire out there. And then same in the closing position. Very nice. Time will tell, but I don't feel like this switch is going to get fatiguing. Like some of the old Ultratechs that I've handled and certain other OTFs, you can typically tell within the first couple of minutes if it's going to fatigue your thumb, and this doesn't feel like it's going to. Time will tell, though. We do have a couple of lacerations there on the blade, which is kind of a that's kind of like a Shift trademark, and we are going to be looking at MagnaCut steel there, which is really beautiful stuff. So MagnaCut is kind of the best of all worlds. Great edge retention, very tough, and it's also very corrosion resistant as well. It is the best of all worlds, in my opinion. You combine that with a really nice stone wash, and you got yourself one hell of a blade. This will last, forever, potentially. Very, very cool. Let's see what kind of size we are looking at here with the shift. So we got about 3 3/16 of cutting edge and about 3 1/4 of total blade. And this is coming down there at 7 and we'll give it 15/16. Put this up against a couple of other knives. We have the CJRB Frac here and the Kaiser Drop Bear here on the bottom. And you'll see this falls right in between both of those. The Frac is a large folder, and the Drop Bear, I'd call that more of a mid-size. And you'll see it's quite a bit bigger than the Drop Bear, but it's going to be substantially smaller than the Frac. And we have the Kaiser Militao up top here, and we have the Vosteed Raccoon down here on the bottom. And we got more handle than the Militao, and we got a little bit more blade than the Militao as well, and it's going to be larger than the Raccoon. One that I'm very interested to put this up against is the Kershaw OTF, which is going to be their live wire. And you can see here that these two are going to heavily compete with each other. As far as size goes, they're both USA made, and they're both going to be in Magna Cut. They both have textured aluminum, and they both have the ability to be switched over for a left-hand carry. Now, where the shift may have a little nod on the Kershaw live wire here is going to be the fact that they're using titanium, a milled titanium clip that is nice and robust, and a titanium filler tab here, where Kershaw, their clip, it might look goofy, but it does work really, really well. You guys will have to let me know if you would be interested in a comparison of OTFs and which ones I would recommend. We're going to go ahead and check this and see what it looks like in the pocket. So we'll get a look at this clip in action here and see what we're looking at. So we have good retention over that initial ramp there, and this is going to carry very nice in the pocket here. Because of that flat butt end, that's going to keep this very low profile in the pocket. Check retention here on the way out. Lots of clearance there under that clip as well. And a nice pull on our very thin cloth there. One thing I'm really interested in is to get a weight on this. Now, I don't actually know what Axial is charging for these. There was a point in time when the original shifts came out that they were unbeatable as far as price, materials, and very solid build quality. Not that I handled them, but from everything I watched, everything I read, plus I got the Dart very early on, which told me quite a bit. I've handled other knives from Axial, and they just provide a lot of bang for the dollar, especially considering it's a USA made knife. I think this will be in heavy competition with anything else out there on the market that's USA made, and potentially be a slightly better deal. I don't know that for sure. I will by the time you're watching this, but I'm willing to bet they have these at a phenomenal price, considering everything this is about. This has some heft to it. These are kind of hard to judge. I know with a couple of the OTFs, I've been way off. Let's go 4 ounces. Oh! Bulls, go! Geggy ain't off today, boys and girls. 112. That's 2. That's 2 in a row today, baby, that I got spot on. You can't write this up. You can't write it up. You can't. And if you think I'm cheating, there's a video paused I was watching a prepping video, so no, there's nothing on the screen, guys. I've proven that in the past as well. And you should know that by the times I'm way off on these as well. The next thing that we will check is our handle here. We'll see what kind of thickness we're looking at. 0.47 and a height of 0.95. We'll get a blade stock measurement here. And typically OTFs are a little bit thicker, but 121 thousandths, not too shabby. They're just, OTFs were not created to be your 1,000-mile cardboard cutter. They're just meant to be users, your daily users. And we have a 27 thousandths behind the edge, maybe 25 in that particular spot, which we typically see knives that cut even really well holding around 20, 21. But I've had stuff that is right around here that just cuts extremely well for what it is. And we are going to see how this thing cuts out of the box right now. So we have our SMKW catalog here, and because of that extended area, that's going to allow you still, maybe not the best poker in the world, but it's still going to poke very well. As far as poking and slicing, this is going to be awesome at that type of work. As far as the edge goes, let me put a little English on it here. That could be better. It could definitely be better, I think. Let's give it one more shot, because it definitely could be on me as well. Let's give this thing a little bit of English here. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's not like, oh my goodness, I just, you know, it's good. It's pretty good. It's not as bad as I was making it out there originally. Sometimes it's the end user as well. Yeah, it's not too shabby. Why don't we see what it does up against some cardboard? So just a little single wall cardboard here just to get an idea. Cutting paper is only a small, it's only a small, I don't know. It's not the be all end all when it comes to just, we do that just to check the edge per se, right? Just to see how it's coming out of the box. There I'm cutting through a bunch of tape and gunk. But yeah, it's not bad. I think it could probably be a little better. Yeah, but it's okay. It's all right. Why don't we go ahead and we'll see how that lock holds up. So I am a professional here, and we have tested many OTFs. We're going to see how this thing stays locked up. It's one thing we didn't really check, because it's not one thing I really care about, is what kind of play we have when this is opened up. And it's very minimal. I mean, I can't even really, I can get it to kind of wiggle. Like I can feel the track moving just a little bit internally there. But if I really wrench on it, but I wouldn't really call that blade movement. I just call that the mechanism moving in the handle there. So for the people, for whatever reason, that care about that, it's very minimal. I would say just a smidge less than the live wire there. Yeah. Let's go ahead and we'll give this thing a couple shots here. Let's start a new side. Good shot. It feels really good in there. I mean, obviously you can pull it out a little bit. That's just the mechanism. But as far as any blade play out from the handle, there is literally none. All that's moving in there is going to be the mechanism. Very well done. Very well built. See, I was going to show you guys too, when I was getting the spine whacker, I shaved a little bit of my arm hair. This thing's freaking razor sharp. So, like I said, that paper test, it's got a good edge on it. So, I mean, I didn't just sharpen it. But it's got a good edge on it. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you about the edge. I'll have to do some more cutting and handling of this bad boy right here, and then we'll have a better idea. But all things considered here, and everything I know about OTFs, which isn't a ton, this seems very, very good. I mean, I've handled, you know, a dozen or more. I've owned a dozen or more, and I've handled even more than that. So I have a decent amount of experience with OTFs, and this one feels really good. I like the size of it. It's similar to that Kershaw live wire, and knives like this seem to find their way into my pocket and kind of just stay there for quite some time. So there's just something about having a good OTF handy. Talk about something easy to carry and use. You know, you need your knife real quick. You can pull this out of your pocket, and as you're pulling it out, shoot that thing out, make your cut, boom, back into the pocket, done deal. It's very convenient. It's a huge convenience factor, in my opinion, anyway, having a solid OTF like this. And then you got MagnaCut to back that all up. You really have a great user in these types of OTFs, and there's been many testing done. Many testings done on OTFs and proving that they can be a very reliable knife. You know, beat them into a tree and they're still going to function just fine type of stuff. So you'd be surprised at what a well-built OTF can take as far as abuse. Not that you should be pounding them into a tree, but you get my point. You guys will have to let me know. What do you think of the Axial Shift Gen 3 here? I always look forward to hearing from you guys on these knives and companies. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and share this video with someone you know who loves knives and gear, or that you want to get into knives and gear. If you are new here yourself and you enjoy knife and EDC content, well, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe, because I would love to have you here. I release videos like this every single day. I'll pop up a couple of new videos on your screen. Go check one of them out for me. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.